Hey guys, Plumber Hammer Mini Guy here on YouTube. It's Plumber Hammer for short. Welcome all you lovers of plastic, be it miniatures or PVC. I post plumbing videos when I'm out in the field. Those are mostly in the form of shorts. Although, I don't know, if I get the capability, I'll try to do some longer videos. If I get like a big project or something that y'all might find interesting, I'll make it happen. I call myself Plumber Hammer because I'm a plumber that loves me some Warhammer. And as promised, I'm going to do some assembly today. I've got two Norn Emissary kits here. So we're going to be doing the Norn Emissary, the Psychic Big Beastie, and the Norn Assimilator, which is more of the melee Kaya kind of guy. I've seen a couple videos. It looks like these harpoons are absolutely devastating, and they help with the charge or something like that. So hey, it's pretty cool. So this way you'll get to see throughout the the assembly process. I'll show you the exact point at which the assembly becomes different between the Norn Emissary and the Norn Assimilator. And then if I have time, I'm going to put this Nuerolictor together. So yeah, let's get assembling. I'll see y'all in just a moment. You know those memes about dropping a part as you clip it off the sprue, and then you have to search for it as it disappears into another dimension? Yeah, check that guy out. Had to dig pretty hard for it. as I said before, sometimes in these videos, you get to not learn from my example, but learn from my mistake. So I think one of these guys stands more upright than the other. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, but if you're building the emissary, on the body use 11 and 12. If you're building the assimilator, use 13 and 14. Both of my guys are going to have about the same stance, but you can see this is multi-pose right here, so I will still make them stand differently. Gonna make this work. Sorry for that mistake. Roast me in the comments. Tell me in the comments if you've ever been assembling a model and you realize something crazy about it. I haven't heard a lot about the lore on the Norn Emissary, but that right there is the Norn Emissary. It looks like a little baby. Freaking creeperific. But when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Because Tyranids are often 2, sometimes even 3 creatures all in one in a symbiotic relationship. For example, the exocrine is a walking bug with this ugly mug and these wimpy little slashing claws. But this dude up here is another organism growing out of the shell. It's the actual biocannon, and it's a symbiotic relationship. The termagant wields a actual organism called a flesh borer. Now I'll have to do a little more research and see if the gun itself is called the flesh borer or the little living ammunition, the grub that it shoots, is the flesh borer. Either way, this happens a lot in Tyranid organisms. So it makes perfect sense that if the Norn Emissary is a psychic Goliath, then the actual psyker is just this little infant looking Nid that rides around in the crown of this thing. Kind of reminds me of the collectors. In fact, it even kind of looks like a collector and how it would assume control of some of the organisms whenever they came into conflict with Shepard. These arms are a little bit tough. Once you get them all put together, you see the two smaller forearms are just one piece. So you very much just cut them off, clean them up, glue them on. But in some ways, it's pretty posable. Kind of. You just got to really work with it. I hate to say it, but you kind of have to use a lot of glue in this case just to get it to stick, to hold the position that you want, but definitely a little more posable than I would have expected. I thought it was going to kind of squeeze in and fit to where you could only put the arms in one position, but if you're patient and you're willing to hold them there for a while, you can really kind of get him in a pose that you like. So there we have it. And these arms really are straightforward. I mean, the numbers are even in order, which they usually are with GW. Cut them out, clean them up, glue them together. I didn't want to spend too much time on these arms. This one's kind of tough, 38 and 39. Just know that it's his neck. So always dry fit, check real carefully, look for the seams. It kind of confused me at first. Now, I know to some people it doesn't matter. And if you disagree with what I'm about to say, then just proceed and glue his noggin onto his body. But remember what we were talking about earlier? The Norn Emissary is actually the little infant looking thing in the crown of his body. Look at that. It's going to be kind of covered up by his head. And not only that, but it's going to be impossible to paint that thing. At least to the degree that I want to paint it. And I'm completely insane. So I want the actual Norn Emissary, the little child looking thing that's controlling this entire body. I want it to be painted really cool. But that's just me. So however you think about it, if you don't really care, glue the head on there and paint your model, because it is, after all, your model. I'm going to leave the head off and make sure that little baby gets painted. So there's the Norn Emissary. Head is currently detachable, and I didn't want to have a repeat use the same cool base that they have on the sprue. So I am going to do the neat little base for the assimilator, but there's the Norn Emissary. I stuck with the same thing I'm doing with my Dark Angels, slapping down some logs and appropriately positioning him on said logs. So I think that base will look pretty cool. We'll go through that a little later, but there's that model assembled. I think I'm going to call this video. I'm going to build the assimilator next, but still doing things on my phone, saving up to get a computer so I can edit on the computer and do even more complex videos. As of right now, kind of running out of room on my phone. So there's the Norn assimilator. Also, guys, as of the editing of this video, the channel is at 30 subscribers. Now, look, I know when you look at the big dogs, that's absolutely nothing. But I gotta tell you, I'm just getting started, and 30 subscribers means the world to me. Thank you all so much. Those of you that have viewed my shorts, where I'm probably doing plumbing, those of you that have watched these longer videos, where I'm actually doing Warhammer miniatures. That's why I open some of the videos saying I'm a lover of plastic, be it Warhammer miniatures or PVC, which is, for those of you that don't know, that's what plumbers deal with a lot. It's our DWV, it's our water lines, at least down here in the south. So yeah, 30 subscribers, guys. Y'all are absolutely awesome. Thank y'all so much for clicking that like button, clicking subscribe. I know everybody says it, but now that I'm actually making content, I get it. I completely understand it. It means the world to us. So thank y'all so much. If you love plumbing, you love Warhammer, keep coming here for such content. That's the Norn Emissary. We'll build the assimilator next. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day.